Good morning. Before we talk about health, let me ask you something. Have you ever woken up on a very quiet morning, the house still completely still, and even before your feet touch the floor, you already feel that your body is different? Your back feels tighter than usual. Your neck and shoulders feel heavy, hard to turn. Your knees hesitate, almost like they're not ready yet. So you sit on the edge of the bed for a few minutes, not because you're sleepy, but because your body needs time to wake up and unlock itself. And almost automatically, a familiar thought shows up in your mind. Well, I guess this is just getting old. If you've ever thought that, I want you to hear this clearly. Right now, you are not weak, you are not broken, and you are absolutely not alone. I've spent many years working with adults over 50, and I hear that sentence almost every single day. One patient once looked at me and said, "Ethan, I'm not afraid of aging. I just didn't expect mornings to hurt this much." And slowly, many people begin to accept that pain as the price they have to pay for getting older. They stop questioning it. They stop hoping that mornings could feel better again. But I want you to pause for a moment and really think about this. The belief that morning pain is caused by age is not entirely true. Yes, our bodies do change over time, but pain, especially morning pain, is not something you are required to accept just because you've passed 50, 60, or even 70. I've worked with people in their 70s who wake up feeling light and flexible. And I've also met people in their early 50s who struggle with stiffness every single morning. So age alone is not the full explanation. And that brings us to a much more important question, a question that carries hope. If it's not age, then what is really causing that morning pain? That's what I want to talk with you about today. Calmly, honestly, without fear. Because once you understand what's actually happening inside your body overnight, you'll realize something very important. There are things you can do at home to help your mornings feel lighter and easier. There's one big misunderstanding I see again and again in my work with people over 50. And if you remember just one thing from this video, I hope it's this: age itself does not create pain. I know that sounds different from what we've all been told, but give me a moment to explain. Based on what I've personally seen over the years, I've worked with people in their 70s, even their 80s. Some still bend down to tie their shoes every morning. Some walk easily, without groaning when they stand up. And they often tell me, "My mornings are actually okay." Ethan, at the same time, I've met many people just over 50 who wake up already exhausted. Their bodies feel heavy, as if the energy for the entire day is gone before the day even begins. So we have to ask ourselves why. If age were truly the main cause, why do some older people feel better than younger ones? And why do some younger people feel more worn down every morning? I want you to imagine it this way. Age is like the background of a story, not the main plot. It sets the stage, but it doesn't decide the ending. In my experience, morning pain is much more closely tied to what happens in your body at night while you're sleeping or trying to sleep. How your body recovers after a long day. The quality of your sleep, not just how many hours, but how deep that sleep really is. And one factor that's often overlooked, low-level inflammation quietly building up over time. One patient once told me, "I sleep enough hours, but every morning, it feels like I never rested at all." That sentence gets right to the heart of the issue, because your body doesn't just need time to sleep. It needs the right conditions to repair itself, calm inflammation, and let muscles truly relax. When that doesn't happen, morning pain isn't a sign of aging. It's a sign that your body hasn't fully recovered. And that's exactly why, starting now, we need to talk about sleep. Not sleep in a textbook sense, but real sleep. The kind that quietly decides how your mornings will feel. Not sleep in the dry, textbook sense, but real sleep. The kind that quietly decides how you're going to feel each morning. Now, I want you to look a little more closely with me at the nighttime. That stretch of hours most of us assume is when the body simply shuts down. But the truth is, nighttime is when your body is working the hardest. When you fall into deep sleep, your body begins repairing tissues that were worn down all day. It gently calms small pockets of inflammation you may not even be aware of. Muscles finally let go. The nervous system starts to settle. Put simply, nighttime is your body's repair shift. But here's the problem. If your sleep isn't deep, if you wake up again and again, if you're tossing and turning through the night, that repair shift never gets finished. I often ask my patients a very simple question. Do you wake up a lot between 2 and 4 in the morning? So many people nod right away. Some say, "I'm not fully awake, but my mind is. Others tell me I'm lying there with my eyes closed, but my body feels tense. Have you ever felt that way? What many people don't realize is this. Every time your sleep is interrupted, your body gets pulled out of recovery mode. Inflammation that should have been calmed down keeps hanging around, muscles that should have relaxed. Stay tight, so when morning comes, you don't wake up in a body that's been repaired. You wake up in a body that simply hasn't finished recovering. One patient said to me, very honestly, "Ethan, I sleep 7 hours. But when I wake up, it feels like I never rested at all." That sentence says everything, because the issue isn't how many hours you sleep. It's the quality of those hours. So if you wake up feeling more pain in the morning, heavier, stiffer, that doesn't mean you aged overnight. It simply means your body didn't get the rest it needed. And once you understand that connection, a lot of things start to make sense. Because if the cause lives in sleep, then hope lives there too. By this point, you may be asking yourself, if it's not age, then what is really causing my body to hurt every morning? I want to share what I've learned from years of working with people over 50%, not from textbooks, but from real, everyday stories. Stories that probably sound a lot like yours. The truth is, there's rarely just one single cause. Morning pain is usually the result of many small things building up quietly over time. The first thing I often think about is low-level chronic inflammation. Many people don't even realize they have it. No fever, no sharp pain, just a dull, heavy feeling, especially in the morning. That inflammation can come from a diet that no longer fits your body the way it used to. From long-term stress you've grown so used to, you barely notice it anymore. Or simply from moving less gently and naturally than you once did. And here's the key part. Inflammation often increases at night. So when you wake up, your body can feel like it's been weighed down. The second cause sounds almost too simple, and that's why it's so often overlooked. Muscles and joints stiffening from being still too long. Picture a door that rarely gets open. Over time, it doesn't swing smoothly anymore. When you stay in the same positions for 6 to 8 hours of sleep, your joints, especially your lower back, hips, and knees, don't receive enough movement signals. They lose what I like to call their natural lubrication. So when you try to stand up in the morning, your body responds with stiffness and pain. The third cause goes a little deeper. Nervous system tension during sleep. Some people sleep, but their minds never really rest. Worrying about family, thinking about health, replaying unfinished business. One patient once told me, "I sleep, but my mind just won't shut off." When the brain doesn't fully power down, the body stays in a defensive state. Muscles won't let go. The nervous system won't release its grip. And the result is this. You wake up in a body that's still bracing itself. The final cause may sound counterintuitive, but it's incredibly important. A lack of gentle movement signals. I'm not talking about heavy exercise, not the gym, not pushing yourself. I'm talking about very small movements, gentle stretching in the evening, slow walking, signals that tell your body everything is okay, you can relax. When those signals disappear, the body slowly forgets how to unwind on its own. And the most important thing I want you to remember from this part is this. None of these causes are an unavoidable part of aging. They're not a sentence. They're signals. And once you learn to listen to those signals, your body starts making a lot more sense. And when you learn to listen to those signals, you begin to realize something important. Your body is still trying to talk to you every single day. If you've stayed with me this far, I want you to pause for a moment and take a breath with me, because this is the part many people need to hear the most. The good news is this: you don't need to do anything complicated to start feeling better in the morning. You don't need new medications. You don't need a gym, and you certainly don't need to push your body past its limits. Some of the most effective solutions are actually the small things your body has been quietly asking for all along. Let's start with the morning, that first moment when you wake up. I often tell my patients not to jump out of bed right away. Instead, give yourself just 5 minutes to gently wake your body up. You might slowly rotate your ankles, almost like you're reminding your joints, we're about to start the day. Gently bend and straighten your knees, and take a deep breath, not as exercise, but as a simple signal to your nervous system. There's no danger here. Many people are surprised to discover that with just a few minutes like this, standing up actually hurts much less. Now I want you to picture the evening, the time when your body needs to wind down, not be stimulated even more, about 10 minutes before bed. Turning off screens just a little earlier can make a bigger difference than you might expect. Slow your breathing, gently stretch your shoulders and lower back, no forcing, no counting. One patient once told me, For the first time in years, I felt my body finally let go before sleep. And that's exactly what we're looking for, that sense of release. Another often overlooked factor is smart, gentle warmth. A warm compress in the evening on your lower back, hips, or shoulders doesn't need to be hot, and it doesn't need to last long. Just enough to improve circulation and let your muscles know it's time to relax. And finally, there's something very simple, yet incredibly powerful, a steady daily rhythm. The human body loves predictability. Going to bed and waking up around the same time each day helps your nervous system know what to expect. And when your body doesn't have to guess, it stays calmer. Sleeping in too much, even though it sounds helpful, can sometimes disrupt that rhythm instead. And I want to say this clearly. One more time, you don't need medication, you don't need a gym, and you don't need to spend money. You simply need to give your body the right conditions to do what it already knows how to do, heal itself. Hope doesn't come from pushing harder. Hope comes from listening to your body more gently. Before we finish, I want you to hold on to one important thought. Morning pain is not a life sentence of aging. It's not something you're required to accept just because you're over 50, 60, or 70. After many years of working with older adults, I've learned something very simple. The body rarely betrays us. It sends signals, sometimes very quiet, very subtle ones. Morning pain isn't there to punish you. It's simply saying, I need to be cared for more thoughtfully. And to me, that's a hopeful message, because when the problem isn't age, the solution isn't out of reach. I've seen many people who once believed, this is it. My body will never be better than this. But when they began listening to their bodies more gently, sleeping a little better, moving a little softer, and being kinder to themselves, their mornings began to change. Not perfectly, but lighter, more comfortable, and most importantly, they regained trust in their own bodies. If you're over 50 and mornings have been difficult for you, I want you to remember this. You are not alone. Many people are walking this same path. And I'm here to walk it with you, not to judge you. If this video spoke to you, please tap like to support the channel and subscribe if you'd like more calm, practical conversations about health after 50. In the next video, we'll go deeper into sleep and natural ways to reduce inflammation that you can try at home. Thank you for taking the time to listen, and I wish you mornings that feel just a little gentler, one day at a time.